now, ladies and gentlemen, he's calm, he's waiting, and he is doing his thing in Tampa. We are now talking to former 11-year MLB outfielding vet and former Phillies, Guardians, Pirates, and Astros player Jason Michaels. Jason, what is up, my friend?
How you doing? Thanks for having me on. And by the way, it's the Indians, not the Guardians.
I'm sorry. Don't say that to Joba. You're going to piss Joba off.
No, he played for the Indians. He didn't play for the Guardians.
I know.
No, I think it's just respect. Whatever. That's a whole other story.
Listen, I get myself enough. I get myself in trouble enough on this show. People love to attack me on social media. So me coming out and saying I wanted you to say it, Jason, because I don't want to get myself into trouble. It's enough that people are attacking me about damn Anthony Edwards and my takes on Anthony Edwards. Cry me a damn river. What is wrong with people? I got my take. I love Anthony Edwards. Let's stop. I don't want to get into it. Let's get into the Phillies. What is going on with the Philadelphia Phillies? I know they had a sensational game yesterday, and they're up and down. I do not know what this team is. What is this team? What is the identity of this Philadelphia Phillies team?
I'm not sure. I'm watching the Yankees game right now and the Rangers. I saw the game last night. Mm-hmm. Sanchez wasn't
filthy.
Fun to be a hitter.
Yeah.
There right now. Last night he had such good control of his changeup. And then who was the closer that came in?
Duran.
103.3. Sorry about your luck.
That's it. Yeah, no big deal. So I think that was a pretty good pickup by the Phillies there. So maybe that'll give them a little bit of a boost. But other than that, the Phillies, I mean, they got the parts. They do. They got the parts, and it's just up to them to capitalize and just to continue to win series. Bottom line, you got to win series. Winning that first game of the series is huge. And Joba can tell you that, but you got to win that first game. That's always a big one. But but I'm watching this Yankees game.
Oh, please stop!
I just got a little upset with Jazz again.
Shocker.
I thought he had a play.
Let me tell you something, Jason. This guy over here in the corner, and I love Joba. Me and him have been working together now for a year. We've built a good relationship.
I don't love him.
Stop. I remember when we started. We started working together during the playoffs.
I didn't hate him.
During the playoffs last year, and he had this I couldn't stand this guy. And he has this love fest for Jazz Chisholm. And he was like, what do you hate this guy for?
I respect the fact he's in the big leagues.
Okay. I respect the fact that a lot of these guys are in the big leagues. And this guy, to me, should be playing AAA baseball with the amount of debacle blunders that he's had so far in the last couple of weeks. This guy, did you watch him? Did you watch him at the home run derby? This guy was yapping and prancing, dancing around with his stupid-ass chains, and then he goes out there and lays a lousy goose egg right in front of the fans. That was embarrassing. Embarrassing.
And then what did he say? The reason why he didn't do well. I didn't want to mess up my swing. Then why the fuck did you get into it? Why do it?
That goes to exactly what we were talking about earlier too. He always does these things. Like that one when he got picked off, he said he was trying to make a play. What play are you trying to make?
There's no play to make.
No, you just dig yourself a deeper hole. I respect the fact that what he does. He's an average player. He's going to run into ones, whatever. He is what he is. But when you start digging yourself holes, especially after the home run derby, you knew what you were getting yourself into. You just the fallback is I didn't want to mess up. But why do it? Probably because he got a bonus to do it. Not that matters, but I was trying to make a play. There's no play to be made. If there was a play to be made and you were being aggressive, I don't mind the physical errors. I don't mind those. If you're trying to stretch it and you do that, but a mental error and then try to come back and be I was trying to make a play when there was no play to be made.
And then he said that he wouldn't. There was nothing he would do different. He would do the same thing again. Oh yeah. And I'm like, that doesn't make any sense to me.
Jason, imagine if that happened in the clubhouse back
no freaking way.
You would get knocked out.
Yeah, there would probably be a fight or at least some pushing and
100%.
And you didn't need the manager to take you out. I feel like Booney should have took him out then. That's just my deal. I mean, you got to have some accountability. How else are you going to have some accountability? He doesn't have any, apparently. You got to show your team that, hey, I don't give a shit if you're an everyday player. I'm going to take your ass out. You do something stupid. Bottom line, it is what it is. You sit out for the rest of the game. You cheer on your guys. Next day,
back in the saddle tomorrow.
But that's not the first time we've seen Jazz come out there and prance out there and make mistakes. And then after the game, how many times have we heard, oh, we're still one of the best defensive teams in the league. We're still the best team in the American League. Where do you see the best team in the American League? Now, the American League, to me, is mediocre. I do not think there's a powerhouse in this American League. I really don't. The Blue Jays, do they scare me? Not really. Right now with the Texas Rangers, besides what they have with DeGrom and what they could prance out there in the playoffs, the back-to-back pitchers, are they really scary? Seattle, any one of these teams, Detroit, a young team, are we really scared? The Astros, they added Correa at the trade deadline. None of these teams really stick out to me like they're world beaters. But Jazz Chisholm coming out and saying, hey, you know what? We're still the best team in the American League. I could argue we're the best team in the major leagues. What are you smoking, dude? It is legalized here in New York to smoke marijuana. Maybe he's smoking too many trees. I mean, seriously. Or smoking something that's getting to his brain and it's burnt. I don't get it.
How's the media with him, with Jazz? Are they calling him out?
The fans love him here. The fans absolutely love him. I can't stand him, but the fans love him because of his personality. But when you make blunders like he did the other day, and then after the game making excuses, eventually you're not taking accountability like you guys, both you and Joba said, Jason. So what are fans going to start looking at? They're going to look at this guy and say he's an absolute joke. Why is he on this roster? And again, that goes to Brian Cashman. That goes to ownership on the way they decided over the last couple of weeks before the trade deadline, hey, Jazz Chisholm's having a great season. Well, at one point he was having a great season. Maybe we should move him. He doesn't fit here. He doesn't work here in New York because of his mouth. But the Yankees decide, hey, he's a top 10 second baseman right now. We're going to keep this idiot. When they have Gleyber Torres right now having a breakout season and looks like he's going to earn his money in the offseason because the Yankees are wrong about him. And by the way, how about this? Besides Giancarlo Stanton, who has better numbers than Gleyber Torres in the playoffs over the last couple of years for the Yankees? The answer, just Giancarlo Stanton. So that tells me the Yankees made the wrong decision when it came to deciding if Gleyber Torres fit there, because Volpe definitely doesn't.
Volpe is a better player than what he's showing, at least hitting wise. I haven't seen him much, defensively. I know whatever it is. I know he's got his home runs or whatever. I don't give a shit. He's not a home run hitter. Stop trying to hit all fucking home runs. Bottom line. Like, I remember here when he was in Tampa last time, they just kept throwing him up and he kept fucking swinging. And I'm like, dude, what are you doing? Make a fucking adjustment. Try to hit a line drive. And to me, that's what's going on in baseball today. Like, there's not one 300 hitter in National League. And I think there's maybe 6 in the American League. That's awful. Not to say, the pitching's good, but let me tell you something. It's a hitter's umpire. All these umpires are hitter's umpires. And Joba's you would tell you the exact same thing. They are squeezing the shit out of these pitchers, all of them. I can't imagine. Like, this is a hitter's umpire, every single one of these guys. And so, to me, there should be more hitting. But it's more that these guys want to – it's either home run or nothing. That's it. They don't give a shit if they strike out. I gave a shit big time if I struck out. It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing as hell. But some of these guys don't give a fuck.
So switching back switching back to the Phillies, 2 controversial comments that were made last week about with Bryce Harper and Nick Castellanos taking shots at Rob Manfred about the salary cap in baseball. Where do you stand on that whole debate?
Yeah, there doesn't need to be a salary cap. I'll tell you right now, the owners are making too much money. How did it get out? How did it?
Bryce Harper vented at him. He literally went in a meeting and just vented at him.
Well, was there media or anything in there?
No, Castellanos talked about it afterwards.
Just keep it quiet. It's like you got to hold your cards. I think everybody knows. Obviously the players or the Players Association, which I hope they get in there. Good pitch right there. See how they did. I don't know if you're watching this game.
Yeah,
too.
we have it on.
Thank you for calling that a ball. That's what I'm saying.
But here's the thing, and I know we could go back and forth on the salary cap and what players should be making. If that's the case, all right, you don't want, obviously, a cap. You want players to decide what they should be making, okay? So maybe the league figures out how that they can adjust this where you can go to a bowl game. It's too expensive to go to bowl games now. Jason, Joba, you know this. To get a hot dog, we put up the numbers. It's like $30 to get a hot dog. It really is. To get a sausage and peppers, it's like $20-something. How could you afford to take your kids to go and watch Aaron Judge play or get a chance to see Max Fried on a mound when you get a chance to see one of the better pitchers in baseball pitch on a mound with the Yankees? To me, it's embarrassing. So if you think there shouldn't be a cap, well, how does this work out for the young fans out there that want to get a chance to see their favorite players?
To me, it's not really the concessions, though. That could be adjusted. That's just being greedy, And they're going, hey, they're here. We can charge it. It's these owners are very well off. Let's put it that way. I'm not advocating that we need to. These are some big ass salaries out there. Mm-hmm. And maybe it needs to be something more with, like the lower market teams. The lower market teams, they're not putting any money into their team as the big market teams. They have the stones to do it. Tampa, they will not get anybody big, but they usually put out a pretty competitive product. They do a good job with their player development. Their scouting is I'm not worried about the scouts. It's more the player development with each of these teams. The talent's there. I just don't think. I think MLB is just they want ass in the stands. They want you to come. Yes, jerseys, all this shit, but it all really comes from the TV contracts. I don't know what happened with this ESPN deal. They pulled that because I guess they rather have NBA on there that nobody fucking watches. I know that's going down. The NBA.
Well, ESPN and the NFL, the network have connected now. Honestly, everything that we're seeing, all these organizations, they're starting to bring them together because they feel that it'll bring in more endorsements and more sponsorships and advertisements and money. So, Major League over the years, they're trying to catch up to the NFL. They're trying to catch up to the NBA. That's what they're doing. And again, going back to what we're saying, the Yankees right now are the faces of baseball. They're still you could say whatever you want about the Dodgers and how
they will always be.
They are the faces of baseball. But then you go to Hal Steinbrenner and how he's run this team differently than George. You shake your head. Yankee fans shake their head. But if you look at the cap and the way the Yankees are spending, they're still spending massive amount of money. So they're just picking the wrong players. So that's the way I look at the Yankees.
That's a different animal. Not everybody can play there. And, like you come to the trade deadline here and you picked up some guys. Not everybody fits. They could be having, good numbers elsewhere, but New York's a different animal. It's just bottom line. Like everybody's calling for Booney's head. I'm like, what the fuck's Booney? I don't need he's fine. Okay. I'm the player. I'm the one that's held accountable. Although who gets fired? The coaches.
They're usually always the scapegoat for sure.
Absolutely. So I don't know. I feel like a lot of the GMs of these teams are making the decisions because of their analytical bullshit.
And that's Jason. That's kind of what we've heard too.
That's what I think
from numerous people and people close to the game and some guys that cover it is. It's basically he's the puppet of what they want from the front office. And we've heard that more than once. Like I said, I'm not in the front office. I'm not in the clubhouse. I'm not making it work.
Yeah.
But if you hear it once and if you hear it twice, yeah, okay. But when you hear it more than that, there's got to be some legs to it. And it feels like that too, because you can only stand behind your – and do you want your manager to stand behind you 100%? You don't want him to roll over you with the bus and back it up and go forward again. There are times where we know we suck when we suck. Like, it's okay to tell me I suck. I know I suck. You're not talking down to me or saying something that we don't know. Like, I know I suck. He's better than that. You know what? He's struggling right now, but we're going to figure there's nothing wrong with that.
No.
And I don't see enough of that where we're grown men. Like, we know when we suck. This is a performance based. It's what have you done for me lately? I understand that. But when you're, in 3 seasons, you're literally adding on to your errors. And I'm using Volpe as an example, where he's got 16 errors already in 111 games, and he's leading the league. And so there's just, and everybody in every article is like, all right, is he running a country club or is he running a clubhouse? And is he your friend or is he going to hold you? And accountable has been the word that I think has been beat over the head so many times, and we can say it, but it feels like that from afar as you see these things that keep happening. And we're not talking about just one time. We're talking about it keeps happening. And where at some point do you just like, enough's enough? Like, do you need a day or two? Like, do you need, I'm not saying be sent down or what, but like, do you just need like a couple days? Like, like there's some days you just need like a me day. Like, you know what? I'm just going to get to the yard and I'm going to stuff my face in the food room and I'm going to do nothing. I'm not going to take any swings. And sometimes less is more, where you can just get out of your own dome. And I think what happens now, and we kind of caught like the beginning of this analytical side of things, right? Where I feel like it so much becomes paralysis by analysis because it's always in your face.
Yeah.
You don't ever have that chance to just get the hell away from it. It's like, hey, there's an iPad right when you get back in the dugout. This is your pitches. There's the video room. It's all right there. You don't have time just to sit there and throw a dip in or put bubble gum or pop some seeds without it all just being right in front of your face.
It's just a different generation now than when we played. I mean, everybody's fucking sensitive nowadays. Yes, it's okay. You could tell me I suck.
100%.
And
I know I did. Thank you. You know what? I want you to hear that. I don't want you to pat me on the back.
Yeah, no.
I want you to tell me to pull my head out of my ass and figure it out.
I want you to pat me on the back. That would be nice. I get a pat on the back from Joba Chamberlain. Oh, you trying to steal a base on me?
That's still not going to happen. But yeah, it's amazing that they don't have it.
Each organization's putting so much money in the analytical department, and I think they're taking away from player development because they're making their decisions on all numbers that we're human. Now, even when I played, we had plenty of information about pitchers and all the bullshit.
That's what our advanced scouts did, so we had it.
Yeah, we had it. But now these guys have fucking booklets sitting on their chairs when they get to the first game of their series. Like right now, guaranteed that the Yankees, they had, here in Texas, they had a big ass booklet of all these fucking numbers. We're not fucking math geniuses. You keep telling me all that shit. 22% of the time at 1-2 count, he throws this pitch. Who gives a fuck? Maybe he doesn't have that pitch that day.
And I hated that, Jason, too, because I would get the sheet, hot, cold zone, and hitters counts, whatever. Like, oh, he's terrible to changeup. I had a horseshit changeup. Why are you even throwing that in my information? Like, I don't want to see it because now I'm like, ooh, 1-2, I can try. And it's terrible. Like, let me pitch to my strength. I don't need to have all of this. Like, I don't need it.
Yeah. It's amazing. Getting on some people on Twitter. Sometimes I just do it just to fuck around, just to fucking, get it going a little bit on board. And like some of these.
Oh, I had some keyboard warriors come at me today with like plus WRC and whatever, and I was like, "Is this English or hieroglyphics?" Like,
are you Coach Fish? Are you Coach Fish over there?
I don't understand that. I really don't.
Dude, I love it. And people were like, "Hey, be careful these keyboard warriors," and I'm like, I was like, I want all the smoke, like because I'm learning just as you are. Like, I know some of them. I'm not speedy and know like all of the plus minus extra. Whatever jargon.
Joba, I think Fish is worse than Speedy now. I mean, he's got all the analytics. Yeah, he's even worse. I mean, we're on the phone. He's telling me about this analytic to that analytic. I'm like, what the hell does this all? I mean,
trying to make you money, man.
I think there are some. I can't say all analytics suck. There's some good ones. I think there's a lot of shit that you're just like, man, that doesn't apply to anybody here. We're still human. Joba and I, we kind of feel the same way. I feel like, kind of talking for you, but that the game has changed. I'm upset about the hitters because we have hitters umpires. I don't feel like the guys are throwing all that much harder because didn't it change? Didn't the aren't they taking the radar out of the hand now?
Yeah, it's definitely changed for sure.
Although there are guys with, I guess, plus 90 shit.
Yeah, now it's the exact opposite. Now if you don't throw 95, they're like, we'll use a great example like Joe Ryan or guys like that can spin it really well, but don't throw 95. They're just like, what? And if a guy does it, it's like, whoa.
I just watched Merrill Kelly throw for the Rangers on Saturday. Man, I was impressed. I mean,
he can pitch.
I've never really watched him other than the World Baseball Classic. He's in Arizona. I'm in Florida. I'm not really seeing it, but man, I was really impressed. He had both sides of the plate, maybe topped out at 93.
Yep.
But he had great arm. Like you couldn't tell if it was a fastball, or a four-seamer sinker, or a changeup.
Yep.
I don't like that as a hitter.
I liked him as a pickup too, coming from the Diamondbacks because they were getting rid of people, but obviously they didn't get a starter. But that's neither here nor there, I guess. But yeah, I like those guys because at the same time, and I use this and I ask people all this time, like, could Jamie, like, if you looked and saw Jamie Moyer pitch right now, would he pitch in the big leagues? No. If you looked and saw Dustin Pedroia, what would you say? Like, nope, not big enough, not fast enough. It's bat speed's not good enough, blah, blah, blah. Like, I agree with what you said earlier. And it's like, not all of the analytics are bad. I think there's some that are very useful. But I also think there's a time and a place for all of them where that can go with these things right here and watch the game and see how it unfolds. And that's a gamer. Like, I want that dude. Like, he's going to grind at bats for me, and he's going to do the little things, get runners over, play the game the right way, and, just be that person where analytical will not tell you that dude's a gamer. It's like, oh, he has great spin rate, whatever. But you couldn't put a grease BB up his ass when the game's on the line and he can't get it done. I don't want that guy.
We all know gamers. We all know
100%.
There's gamers where you're like in practice or a BP, you're like, God, this guy is just not that good, but he finds a way to put the barrel of the bat on the ball.
And then the exact opposite, you get the 5 o'clock All-Star that you're like, damn, this dude has to be good. And then he's terrible.
And that's what I think what these guys are. They're just going to batting practice and watching the show. And they're going, oh, well, he can hit. No, he fucking can't. In the World Series, when A.J. Hinch, I heard, I think it might have been 17, that they had the spin rates, and they were lining up the spin rate of this reliever starter with this hitter. And if that didn't match, I don't know how they fucking judge that, then they wouldn't put him in. Like, that right there is not a baseball thing. As a coach, like, I don't give a shit who the pitcher is in. I'm going to get my best hitter that is giving me the best at-bats. I don't give a shit if he's lefty or righty. I really don't. But now I think a lot of managers manage for the media because the media is going to ask the questions. They don't want to have to go, well, this is what I want to do, and the media is just going to jump on them.
Yeah, because they're gonna have that analytic like, oh, he was like they used Rosario tonight for the Yankees. He was hitting .087.
Mets legend.
Then he gets a double, and they're like, oh, he's 5 for 37 now. Oh, blah blah blah.
Oh yeah.
I hate the media, too. And by the way, we are talking to former 11-year MLB outfielder Jason Michaels. He's a hitting coach right now in Tampa. He's doing some things over there, helping young boys and young kids develop their swing, as we all know. Speedy, you need to develop a swing. Maybe you need to go
I was never good. I think my swing's a lost cause.
I hate the media, and everybody says, well, you're the media. And here's the problem with the media. They think they know more than the player. They think they could figure out what's the problem with the hitter, what's the problem with the pitcher. They don't know crap. What the hell does the media know? Oh, if you pitch a little lower, you pitch outside, or you pitch a little higher and throw your heat up, upright, you're going to strike this guy. You don't know nothing. How the hell do you know? And the media just thinks what did you play, Little League Baseball? How the hell? And again, because they write for the New York Times, or they write for a certain magazine, or they write for the Yankees blog, they know more than everybody else does. That's the problem right now when it comes to media work. Media thinks that when they say something, people are going to listen, including the players. And now you got players that are tuning in and listening to what these guys are writing, and it either pisses them off or it throws them off. Guys like you, Joba, I know you never, when you were playing baseball, I know you weren't reading what Newsday was writing about you or the Daily Post. You didn't have to. because you were playing for the New York Yankees. All you had to do was strut out there in the 8th or 9th inning and do what you do best, and that's strike people out. Now, if you have guys, I don't know, you have all these different guys that the Yankees are trotting out there. Devin Williams is definitely, when he was in that slump, you don't think Devin Williams was reading the Newsday or reading what was going on all over social media? Of course he was.
What Jason said, too, and, like, how it's different pitching in New York, like, and I think he didn't realize, like, obviously people say that, and they're like, oh, yeah, it's New York, blah, blah, blah. But it's a different animal. Milwaukee's different pitching, and if you give up a couple, yeah, whatever. But you come here, and it's easy to get in your own dome because, like you said, Errol, it's all right in front of you. Mm-hmm. It's all right there. Like, if he lives in the city, he's walking down, the street vendor, it's all right there. It's a headline. Like, you can't help but notice it. Is he reading it? It's his own stupid-ass fault if he is reading it.
It is. Absolutely.
You did the interview. You suck. You were pitching to an 11 at one point in the year, and you're pitching to a 5 now. Like, we know that's not good. You know it. Like, you don't need to add fuel to the fire.
And that goes to Anthony Volpe. You're going to tell me right now Anthony Volpe is right now just playing terrible baseball. He can't play defense. He can't do anything. This guy won a Gold Glove his rookie season. Now the guy can't even throw to first base. He's a Chuck Knobloch wannabe. I mean, honestly, you're going to tell me that he's not reading what's going on in magazines and newspapers right now? Of course he is.
He shouldn't be.
It's shoved in your face. I mean, you go in the clubhouse and they got all the media, printouts. And, I came up through the Philly organization, and so it doesn't really matter. Anybody East Coast, tough. And then I went to Cleveland, and I was like, whoa, this is different here.
Awesome.
What I learned, though, and I tell people this, what I learned in Philly is I remember the veteran guys coming up and saying, listen, you do something good, they're going to say something, but have some accountability. Don't try to fight them. Don't try to, this or blame that. Don't do it. Just have some accountability. So I think it helped me have a young player first, quick, because Philly would fucking boo the shit out of you if you didn't run hard. Nowadays, I don't know how, because, not all the guys are running hard. I'm not saying 100% every time, but not fucking 50.
No, but but again, they're making a lot more money. You have Juan Soto not trotting up the first base. He's getting killed by the media. We've seen that. How about Robinson Cano? How many times did we see Robinson Cano not run to first base and how he got killed by the media? And this guy was one of the best hitters we've ever seen come from the Yankees organization in the last 20 years. And he could not run to first base. And everybody said, oh, this guy's not running. He's not trotting on. The Yankees shouldn't sign him. And media were throwing him under the bus. Meanwhile, he was a shutdown defender, and he had some pop in his bat for a second baseman. Yeah, he was doing other things. I don't know. Hopefully he wasn't doing that with the Yankees, but we don't know.
Cano, he just has that personality. That's just his personality where it comes easy to him. The game comes easy to him. And it doesn't that's different. Majority of players, more than a lot. I mean, there's only a few baseball players that are gifted. Other than that, other ones are just hard-nosed, hard workers. You just go out there and you compete and not let the negative bring you down. That's really, I mean, there's a lot of talent in the minor leagues. It's between the ears and not letting the negative or the failure of the game bring you down.
Jason, that's what I'm saying. Even with the quarterback position, we look at all these quarterbacks, their first-round draft picks, second-round draft picks, and the future of these organizations. And these organizations pay a lot of money now to these first-round. I asked the Jets with Zach Wilson. We go back and back and back and back and back, year in and year out for different organizations, and they just strike out every single time. And then 20 years later, they finally hit a home run, and the guy can't stay healthy, and you pay him a ton of money, a boatload of money. That's the problem with professional sports now, and we can go back and forth. There's just so much money. It's become a business. Nobody cares about the camaraderie anymore. Everybody says, oh, I miss playing in the locker rooms. We heard that for Tom Brady, and now he took a shot at Scotty Scheffler last week, and Scotty Scheffler coming out and saying, I'd rather be with my family and hang out with my family than play professional golf. And then Tom Brady, he throws Scotty Scheffler under the bus saying, well, why can't you do both? Well, dude, you're the one who had a divorce. You're the one who decided to walk away from the sport and tell your wife you're never coming back, and then you come back 2-3 weeks later, and that's why you have a divorce and why your wife's sleeping with another man. And you're taking shots at Scheffler? Come on, man. I don't get it. I don't get it why anybody's opening their mouth.
You're right.
I don't get it. I don't get it. I really don't. And that's the problem with media and why we do this. Everybody and their mother has a podcast. But here's the problem. When they go out there, and I'm not attacking anybody, and guys and women are listening to my show, or listening to my Joba show over the last couple of months and year that we've been doing this. When we come out on this show, I tell the truth. And Joba says I'm probably one of the most controversial people he's ever worked with. Okay? And the reason why I'm controversial is the one reason why I've always been this type of person offset of a radio show. I'm not going to beat around the bush. I'm just going to drive it in. And if you don't like it, you can shove it up your ass. And that's the way I say it. Joba is a calm, collective guy in his own little way. And Joba tries to hold back on some of the things he says because he doesn't want to throw himself under the bus. I'm the one that Joba leans towards to throw everybody under the bus. So, you see, thumbs up on that one. So, unfortunately, media likes to turn stories into more than what they are. And then when it becomes a story, they like to drive it where the sun doesn't shine until it becomes such a big story where these players or media guys make these stories more than it really is. And unfortunately, when baseball right now is the only sport. So what are people talking about right now? Well, the lead story right now is the New York Yankees. How bad they are. Aaron Judge, who was up for an MVP, and he's going to come back. Is the Yankees making the right decision bringing him back? Should he play in the outfield, or should he be a designated hitter? Or are the Yankees a buyer or a seller at the trade deadline? What a crock of shit, okay? I'm so tired of hearing it. Here's what the Yankees should have done. Sell, sell, sell. But the Yankees organization never does that.
They're not going to. I mean, they're not going to, period. You know, what accountability does the media have?
They don't have accountability. They don't. They never
exactly.
did.
Accountability.
Yeah, they don't have to because they're just trying to sell clicks now. They're not selling papers. They're trying to sell clicks. And you take away the power of the pen from them. You go and tell them you suck. They can't write. They can't write anything else.
Exactly.
Hey, I sucked. I couldn't throw a fastball for a strike. They got on me early. I cost us the game. Peace out. See you. You can't write anything else.
Yeah. No follow-up question to that.
Nope. Sorry. Peace. See you.
It's like it's boring. They always said to be boring.
And they hate it.
Yeah.
I always try to find
we've seen it in locker rooms too, Joba. But we've seen it in locker rooms. I've seen between media and the players, and just losing shit. I'm like, own up and move on. It sucks. It is what it is. Just own up and move on. I don't know. That's just I don't feel like that's happening in sports general, but I know in baseball, I just don't feel like that's happening. And it's a shame. I blame team leaders. Leaders of the team. That's who I listen to, even though the manager's decisions.
Yeah. Unfortunately, we can go back and forth about what these teams are doing or what these teams should do. We're not the GM. We're not the owner. And obviously, they're in a driver's seat. And unfortunately, the New York Yankees are run by not one, not two, but probably 10 executives are in a round table kissing each other's asses. So, and we're not going to mention any names. But, Jason, we really appreciate the time. You're fantastic. You do such a great job over there in Tampa. And when I get out there, I definitely want to check out the facility that you're building up over there. I think you're doing such a great job. And I know you're a busy guy, and you're doing some big things out there, and we really appreciate the time, buddy.
Jason, where you at in Tampa?
I'm just north of Steinbrenner Field, like about 10 minutes.
Oh, okay.
Here on Del Mabry, I'm just north. I got a couple indoor cages. I have an ex-major leaguer doing the pitching lessons, this guy named Mark Valdez. He played a little bit before us. And, I do the hitting and the fielding. Mark does the pitching. But I work a lot up here of the approach, working on the approach. It doesn't really – because a lot of my players are both hitters and pitchers. And I want them to do both, especially the young ones. And I would say, guys, there's a lot of similarities between pitching and hitting mentally, and how you go about your at bat or your mound time, whatever. But so a lot of what I do is up here, just dealing with confidence issues, how to try to deal with failure every time you step on the field. Whether you're a pitcher or you're a hitter, there's going to be a negative result that's going to happen.
Well,
and the guys that are on TV are the guys that are able to put those away as more than everybody else, and not let them affect.
Jason, what we want you to do is we need you to work with Speedy's brain because we've been trying to force Speedy to shave those roots. He's not done that since the day he was became a man at 13 years old. We're trying to push him. That bush needs to be some cleaning over there. So we need some trimmers. Maybe you can work with that kid's brain so we can kind of force feed him to do something over there, man. I mean, those bushes look like Wrigley Fields' bushes. What do you think, Speedy?
I'm not doing it on outside influence.
Oh, man. Anyways.
Well, guys, thank you for having me on. I appreciate it. Love to be on more. So whatever, if you guys need somebody, let me know.
We would love it. We would love it. Jason, thank you.
Best of luck.
Jason Michaels, ladies and gentlemen, doing great things in Tampa. He's watching the Yankee game and watching the Yankees absolutely choke, as they always do. And as I have come out and said, over the last 2 weeks, the Yankees should have been sellers. And boy, am I going to look right about that.